Jebretin, welcome back to the One Punit Indonesia, the English version. Let's dive into one of the big news. KDB has officially leaves Manchester City after 10 years. Is this the right time? What's next for both KDB and City? Let's break it all down. Still with us today is Firzi Idris, Adiani, and of course Kiko and Rico.
Hello.
Let's start here. After a decade at City, KDB is finally moving on. Is this the right time for him to leave, or should he have gone last season?
First, Abrar hasn't changed the below text yet. Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne. No mega stars. It's like making fun of the mega star.
Yeah. I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Good shout.
So
for the viewers.
Noticing?
Yeah. KDB. Yeah, I think with the pace of the game right now and the way he played at the weekend.
Not everybody played slow at the weekend.
Not everybody.
It was a testimonial match.
The City game was like a friendly.
It was
friendly
excruciating to watch that match.
The summer series came early.
It was it was like they were playing in Los Angeles in the middle of March, early April. So that was very boring and it was a torture.
Imagine
you doing the game, trying to make the game
interesting.
Sounds interesting
as usual.
I can't hide it though.
It's like a snore fest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay awake.
When I look at that roster, that lineup for both sides, and then I look at that midfield for Man City, that is the pace perfect for Casemiro.
Yeah.
Hence the 11 or 16
tackles. 11 tackles.
11 tackles, right?
Most in a game.
Because that was his pace.
Yeah, it was his pace.
With his friends.
Yeah.
The Bernados, Kevin De Bruyne. Oh my God, it was a painful watch.
Yeah, it's a painful watch, especially when I have Savinho also in my FPL team and he's not playing. I have Marmoush also. The game was played. So yeah, but not. Last match aside, he's been a stalwart for Manchester City.
About that.
19 titles, I guess. The last player standing from from the Pellegrini era. Truly an end of an era with Kevin going. Yeah, I think in the 33 years of age with the kind of injuries that he has had, I think it was Adi who said that he pushed through to play in the Euros, right?
Yeah.
In spite of his injuries, so that's why he suffered more than because of his injury. We know how important he is to the Pep system. The amount of assists that he got, the numbers are crazy. The number of changes,
118 in the Premier League.
Created 3 times more chances for his colleagues in the Premier League than his next rival. His characteristic pass from that right half space to the far post. I think not many players in world football can do what he's doing right now. So I think this is the with the way the game going right now, whether we like it or not, this is the end of his era.
Do you think he should have gone last season? Or
Maybe. But of course, the way City is treating their legends, I think one of the best class sides treating their legends. Maybe if you look at Real, not the best. With the Cambiasos, the Club Macaleles, Fernando Hierro, Sanchez, even a great captain, but they didn't treat him well. Raul as well, but City is different. When you look at how they treat David Silva, you cannot replace him. You can. I cried in that moment. I was like, I'm not a City fan, but this is something. This is dramatic. Pep Guardiola playing the cameras very well. Kevin De Bruyne,
right?
Always. He knows it. I think Kevin De Bruyne deserves that statue. Kevin De Bruyne is maybe top 3 in terms of Man City legends, and the way that he changes the side into a winning side. 6 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League titles, 2 Player of the Season, says a lot about the guy, and he is the perfect professional. In terms of, you talk about Paul Scholes and you talk about Kevin De Bruyne from the same city, and after training sessions he goes back home, plays with his kids, and that's all that we know about Kevin De Bruyne. And then when he turns up as a magical player in that midfield for City, for Pep Guardiola, for Belgium. So even for fans of other teams in the Premier League, seeing him was a blessing, and if you don't see him live, you better go now because time is running out. And if you look at him, the way he plays is a joy. It's worth the 60, 80 pounds that you have to buy. You have to spend for a Man City ticket if you buy it from second hand, and it'll be problematic.
Actually, but once for £20.
You're lucky, man.
For £20.
You are lucky. Or is that game against Manchester United, the testimonial?
No.
Well, my student ticket is cheaper.
It was a Champions League game. It was actually. Anyways.
But still, it's a blessing to watch him, right? Because I watched him a few times, even for Belgium. He's just magical.
Good. He's good. No, but coming back to that, I think he hasn't been fit since last year. So talking about him should leave last year. I think he shouldn't have. I think it's this year that, because I don't want to call it a decline. I think it's his skill is still there, but I think it's just he can't get up to to form because of his fitness and his I think it's hamstring, right? He's getting injured because of hamstring. But yeah, I think him being in the club is still good morale for the others. He's Jack Grealish's idol. That's what he said. He's grown that hair, quite charismatic. So it's good for the club to keep him. Eager to see where he goes after this. But this guy's a legend. I think he's one of the best midfielders in this current generation. Again, Adi said 118 assists. That's out of 281 appearances.
Crazy.
That's crazy, man. That's less appearances than David Silva, former teammate, Steven Gerrard, and a lot of other midfielders as well. So I think he has the best vision in the Premier League history. Maybe Paul Scholes, similar. But Kevin De Bruyne, 10 years. He proved a lot of people wrong from that Chelsea side that he was playing in. He got kicked out, going to Wolfsburg. Almost got signed by Bayern Munich, but Pep said, no, don't sign him. And then he moved to City, and then he signed Kevin De Bruyne. That's what I heard.
Yeah, Pep is planning for the future.
He planned for the future. So, we're going to... Again, I agree with any side of the Premier League, any fan team you are of the Premier League. I think you're going to miss seeing somebody like Kevin De Bruyne because he's so entertaining to watch. He had one goal. He's not the most nimble, but if you remember, I think this was during COVID, he had like a nimble-esque goal against Norwich. It was so good. Just placed it on top bins and just... It's not Kevin De Bruyne to do that, but that was so good. So I'm going to miss the legend.
Yeah, the game against Newcastle, it was last season, right?
When the Oscar Bob goal.
Well, he just got back from
injury and then provided two
assists. I think that is one of the best performance coming off the bench. Changes the game. Got involved in terms of distributing, and then just the vision of him, just the aura of him in that midfield. And then I think Chelsea. It was under Jose Mourinho.
Yeah,
and he was starting.
Who let them go?
He was starting, but he was starting in two opening matches against Hull City, the opening match. I think
as a forward.
As a hybrid forward, maybe. And then comes the time that the offer for that loan. But Jose wants to keep him, but he wants to play in a certain role week in, week out. So he has that swagger as well. That confidence as a young player that he can do better. Not just playing for like Chelsea, which is a big club in England, but trying to progress slowly. And then the setup was perfect for him at Wolfsburg, and then he became one of the best young players. And in that season, he became the player of the season as well for Wolfsburg. And then after that, of course, Pep and him got together, and the rest is history.
I think he got double figures as well at Wolfsburg, so that's why I think he's a very creative midfielder. It's just interesting. He won Premier League Player of the Season twice without ever won a single player of the month, which is to me is mind-blowing because he's so consistent, but he never won player of the month, which if you look at other players, I think Mo Salah has won 6 or something. He only won 1 player of the season. So it goes to show how good he is on that City side and how equal that City team is. So
I still have this funny feeling that he's staying in the Premier League.
Seriously?
I think Chelsea will do something.
Whoa!
That'd be crazy. It'll be crazy because I think he still has a lot to offer, and if he is, I don't know, maybe he can play not like 3 matches.
Conference League,
not Conference League matches again. Like 3 matches
like in
a week. You say in the NBA, it's what load management.
Load management. I like that. Yes.
Load management. Kevin De Bruyne.
He's gonna get injured.
Offer a lot of stuff. Even teams like Newcastle. Imagine with Kevin De Bruyne.
Would you be interested?
But I think Chelsea, because of the wages, Chelsea would be something, because I think he has unfinished business. Maybe he can take Chelsea to the next step with the experience, because this is one player that I think Chelsea needs, because they have everything, but they don't have Kevin De Bruyne and the experience. Okay, Saudi can offer the money.
No, I think it's Saudi
America
Arabia.
can give him the maybe the lifestyle that he wants with the family. But the kids are still in school and they are enjoying England.
Sure.
And that is one thing that I think is in mind for Kevin De Bruyne, for him maybe to commute, or maybe for the family to move back to London, is a possibility. So it'll be great to watch where Kevin De Bruyne is heading.
I like that scenario. I think football is in a better place if Kevin De Bruyne plays in the top, top leagues and so on.
Serie A as well.
If he can shake off that injury, because we know that playmaking players, especially like Andrea Pirlo, when Milan released him, he was 34 years old, and then they said he was finished, and then he goes on that mad run with Juventus. He's still 33. I think playing in Italy will be great also for him. We saw a lot of great.
Look at Mkhitaryan.
Look at me enjoying his life there.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, a lot of ex-Premier League players going there and doing very well. De Gea also, and we got a lot of players coming in. Dribbling the latest. That's so weird. Seeing.
Who?
No, not Dribbling.
Billing.
Philip Billing in Napoli.
Huge player.
He is like the Mariano Rivera of Napoli. He closes games in the second half.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. But yeah, he still possesses that ability. But the talk now is of Saudi Arabia, which is a shame. But if he wants to go there, no one will judge him, of course. But if he can still play in Italy in a higher level, maybe in Spain even, he will still be a great asset.
Spain with Girona?
Spain with Girona.
City
again,
group.
the City group. Yeah, why not?
Business.
I guess it can happen.
Yeah.
Still interesting to see. If you're playing with Pep Guardiola, he needs to be at that very, very high level. Maybe with his injuries and his age, he cannot just sustain it. Maybe going down a step or two, it will be very beneficial for him. He's not over in the sense that as a footballer, maybe in Manchester City, yes, with the way what Pep wants from his players, but if he can go to another top level club, it's still in the realms of possibilities. Sure.
Would you say that he's one of the best playmaker in the world, like compared to names like Modric or Iniesta?
Sure, of course, yeah.
In that conversation.
In that conversation,
yes.
yeah.
But better than Iniesta, I don't think so.
Yeah, not
Iniesta, better, but like in the same bracket.
Level.
In the conversation. In the conversation.
In the conversation.
This is hard. Yeah, I think it's in the conversation. He's not quite there yet.
And he never fulfilled his potential. The golden generation of that Belgium team.
He doesn't like it being called golden generation. If you saw,
but it is.
It is. He said that's so stupid. He said to a journalist, "It's so stupid."
From the federation to pick Roberto Martinez for whatever.
That's more golden.
That's for another episode.
That's for another
conversation
episode.
Because Roberto Martinez's agent is a legend. And I think now the interesting part is where will City drop their pin on a player that can provide as not as great, but maybe 80% of the load that Kevin De Bruyne offers for Man City. Not 100% that Kevin brings, but just 80%. And if you look at a lot of players up and coming, you look at a lot of stars coming to play in the Serie A, in La Liga. It's interesting to see where City will go next. What's the plan with Pep? Maybe getting Tierney Reinders into the side.
That's what
that is interesting.
He's not quite Kevin De Bruyne level.
He's a different kind of player.
I can't replicate that. But at the current team, I think Gundogan is the only person that can fill that on. I think on paper and looking at how he plays, again, not with the passing but with the role, it's only Gundogan.
But for next season,
exactly, he's not going to be there.
Not going to be there.
The solution. For them.
They need Foden to step up, but we've already talked about this. Foden is not.
But that's interesting because Foden, if you look at his comfortable position, that number 10 with Kevin De Bruyne,
he should be
out. So now it's the time for him to be that guy. But I think.
But what happened to him?
Yeah. but the thing I want to say is that in that game at Old Trafford, the chance towards his mother, that is just a joke. I hate that.
What's his mother?
I hate that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. What happened?
There's a problem with his hands towards his mother and everything.
Okay.
And I think for Phil to hear that was not the
So
best.
sickening,
Not
Yeah.
not that. I don't know. It's
Sorry,
just not nice.
I thought you said chances.
Chance.
Sorry, I was like, what? Okay.
Only one chance for that match.
No, speaking about Phil
I
Foden,
think it's
wasn't
a long day at work for him.
No, it was an okay work. It was an okay work day. Wasn't he player of the season last season?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so he just
exactly, but
disappeared. Yeah.
Form drop.
So
Is
again,
that because Gareth Southgate and the Euros?
Southgate again.
For another episode.
For another episode.
For another episode. Right. So last question. With all these exits, is City still the team to beat next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
still to beat, meaning
They will
So-
return after this disappointing season. They will buy a
Bounce
couple
back?
of players. With Pep there, there's ambition, of course. So I think I worry for all the clubs trying to, for Liverpool to retain the title. It's going to be difficult because City will be there. They will have their say and they will be better.
Your
I-
sounds
I-
interesting.
well, I didn't say it.
Tip.
No, I don't think it's going to be that smooth. Maybe it's not as confident as Adi because you can't fill a hole left by Kevin De Bruyne that easy. The role itself, I'm talking about vision because nobody's going to, at this moment, nobody's going
We
to
don't
fix
know
that.
where Vision is after that last scene.
Yeah. It's not there, yeah.
Don't forget.
Sorry, Marvel? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just needs to.
Oh, jeez. He went with Kevin De Bruyne.
Sliding.
But no, you can't replace that just yet. I think they're going to struggle to fill in that gap because we're seeing it right now. Maybe the factor is because Rodri isn't there for most of the time, but it's still not going to be easy for Pep next season, in my opinion.
Mas Firzi?
Bernardo should go.
Bernardo,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah, but
But
Bernardo, I think he hits a plateau in his career. Don't
Yeah.
you think? Because we thought he can be better than he
Yeah,
is right
yeah.
now, but he's just not fulfilling that
I think
for one reason or another.
That treble takes a lot from a lot of City players.
a lot of players.
I
That
think
mentally,
Bernardo in that season.
mentally, yeah.
Yeah.
Bernardo in that
Yeah.
season, he did a lot.
Yeah.
He played
Yeah.
even in the back line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that takes a lot from the players,
Yeah.
and it was not quick enough for the management to find replacements. Maybe
Yeah.
that coming back for Gundogan is not the best solution as well.
Coming back, yeah, of
Yeah.
course, because it's
No.
a totally different player that
Mm.
come back from Barcelona.
And it was strange in the game against Manchester United where you have players like Nico Gonzalez was fit, but then you go to that midfield.
And that's the thing, Adi.
Mm.
Where will Pep brings his rebuilding
Mm.
efforts goes to? Because with PSG, we talk about it. It's clear the plan, the idea, the philosophy is clear. But I think with Guardiola himself, after it will be like his 10th year next season or 9th year. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, I think. There's a lot of unknowns for him. Yeah, we talk about it also with Hugo
And, Hugo
Viana
Viana
coming
coming
in.
in,
Yeah, he lost a
Different.
key ally in the upper management level. It will be an interesting rebuild. We still don't know what kind of players that he will bring because Nico Gonzalez was there and he's not playing. Omar Marmoush is a great player, but he's different from the other strikers that Man City has.
Haaland did not play, but Marmoush is not playing as that real front.
That real front
No.
man. Yeah.
So it's still we don't still know that the plan. What is the plan from
What
Pep?
is the plan from Pep? Yeah, and he can drastically change a player because we know Grealish is not the same player he is now with the same player as in Aston Villa. Jeremy Doku is still doing Jeremy Doku stuff, but I don't know if next season he will still drop his shoulder and try to beat 2 or 3 players at once anymore.
And he wasn't happy in the end of the derby, right?
Exactly.
With Pep
Yeah, with
hugging
Pep.
him and doing Pep stuff.
What is Pep stuff?
More on the second episode. More on that
Talk.
later.
More pep talk.
More on that later. But anyway, that's it for Manchester City and KDB. But we're going to talk about Timnas Under 17 right after this one.